Hi, Krista here with Two-Way Mirrors, and today I'm super excited to share with you all of our favorite tools that we use directly here in the shop to cut glass. So first I'm going to put my safety goggles on, and by goggles I mean glasses. And then next, let's go over one more safety feature. So we have two types of gloves here. The Showa Atlas gloves are great for large mirrors that you're cutting because it has more protection. It is thicker, so if you were to fumble with the glass, there is more between you and that shard, which is super nice. For smaller mirrors, and when you're doing precision cutting, it is nicer to do a more fitted glove, but notice it's much thinner overall, but still provides a really nice protection. So once you have your safety equipment on, it's time to cut the glass. So I recommend using the Morton glass cutting system. The waffle grid actually comes separately. So when you are looking online for this, the Morton Glassworks cutting system has all of these little accessory pieces, and then it fits really nicely into the waffle grid. But again, it does come separate. So once you get your pieces, put it together, it's time to cut the glass. So you have your mirror or glass, and then you just stick it right under the ruler, line it up, position it with a stopper based on where you might want to be making the cut, and then you want to position it so when you're using your cutting wheel, you would just go line it up right up with this line. Now let me talk a little bit more about this glass cutting wheel. So it does have a diamond wheel in there, and then you would use this premium oil for glass cutters, and then you would just apply that to the wheel before you start cutting. So once you have it oiled up, you're ready to cut. So you would just line it up and then make your score line right along the mirror side of the glass, if there's a mirror coating on it, and then it's time to break. One of my favorite tools here for breaking the glass is a Studio Pro running plier. Running plier is really nice because you can just pick it up, your piece, line it up with the score line, squeeze very gently until you hear the crack of the break, and then it just breaks it in half right along where you had it scored. So it is better because it has the two in the same shape to like push it in the right direction, so it's not just squishing it down. But a great alternative if you don't happen to have running pliers in the house, you can use the safety brake that the Morton system recommends when you're looking online for accessories. So this is a little bit different than the running pliers. So it actually has two pieces if you're doing two different types of brakes. Perfect. Just setting that aside. So for the first type of brake, you actually would just want to use the button and this top piece. So let's say you made a score line and it's all different in terms of the design. So you may not be doing a straight line. So you would first place your button down. So once you have the button in place, you put the glass on top near the score line, and then you would just press until you hear the crack, and then you would follow it along by pulling the glass over the button, and then the score line, you would just follow that all the way through until it comes apart into two pieces. Alternatively, if you don't use this button, you can put your finger under the score line and then place this on top and slightly apply pressure until it breaks in half. All right, so now that we have the scoring and breaking down, you have an unsafe edge. So you need to make that safe to handle so you're not cutting yourself after the fact while you're trying to install whatever you just made. So I recommend the sanding block. So this does give a nice sanded edge, which is great for most things. And the way you would use this is you would apply it to so that you're going away from the mirror side. So this blue laminate is actually protecting the mirror side, and then you would just be sanding it away from that. You don't want to go this way because then it would start to chip the mirror coating. So you always want to be applying away from the mirror. And then you would just do that to all four sides, flip it over, do the same thing, so you get all of the edges. Awesome, so once it's safe to handle, there's probably a bunch of debris on it from sanding and cutting and fingerprints, who knows what. So now it's time to clean the glass. So I'm just gonna flip this over so we can demonstrate on the non-mirror coated side. So for cleaning optical mirrors, you could use a lens cleaner by Zeiss. Just spray that on. And especially when you're working with optical grade mirror coatings or you're worried about scratches, anything of that nature, the Kimtech Kim wipes are really awesome because they're disposable, so they're not building up any dirt that you might run along that surface. Other glass cleaners are really nice too, as long as they are ammonia free. So here's an example of another glass cleaner. It has foaming action, but it's also ammonia free. So let's check out the ammonia action. And I'll apply it to a different surface. Use another Kimtech Kim wipe. Perfect. So it leaves the surface nice and clean. All right, so once we've cleaned off our mirrors, they're ready to be put into use or stored away for later. For smaller mirrors, I recommend this Precut Blue 33 spray. It's from Universal Photonics. And all you do, this is actually really sweet, okay? So you take this blue spray and apply it to your mirror with at least 3 applications or more. And then once it dries, it actually turns into a blue laminate that just peels right off. So it's great for custom shapes and really small pieces of any size. So if you don't use the spray, you can also go with the C.R. Lawrence blue laminate wrap. So it works a lot like the cling wrap, and you would just apply that directly to the mirror surface, like so, and then cut off the excess. So if you're in a bind and you need to just rip it along the edge, it's definitely doable. Then you would just smooth that on, and you're good to go. So this is really awesome because when you peel it away, it actually does not harm the mirror coating. All right, so we're good to go. Other products that we really love that are indirectly related to cutting is our duster. So let's say you have a first surface mirror and there's just a little bit of dust on it. no fingerprints. You can totally use this duster on the surface. So the way you apply this is you want to angle or position the duster so it's still straight up. You don't want to bend it down because then the coolant just goes everywhere. So you would keep it like that and then angle your optical mirror just like that to dust off the surface. And then lastly, we have our mirror application spray. So this is for our two-way mirror film when you're applying it to a glass window, which basically turns a clear glass into a two-way mirror. So you would just use this application spray before you put on the two-way mirror film, and then that helps for a most professional installation. Alright guys, that wraps up our glass cutting tools video. If you have any questions, leave a comment below and I'll be there to help you out. Alright, Krista out.